Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head.
When I was in grad school, I'd have to read so many studies and so much assigned reading material that was, no lie, next level boring. It didn't matter if I drank like a half gallon or a full gallon of coffee. No matter how much coffee I drank, I was still falling asleep. Back in Navy boot camp, we did have the privilege of being able to get our own coffee, but during our classes, we were made to stand up if you felt yourself starting to nod off. And it might not sound like a lot, but it really does work wonders. Using this idea, which I got from the Navy, I started looking into buying myself a standing desk. After assembling it, I started using it for work or for my studies. And it is a godsend. Not only does it keep me more alert and aware, most important thing is that it keeps me awake. Honestly, I've never been more happy about any type of desk I've ever used in my life until I got myself a standing desk. Welcome to the Workout Nerd Out. I'm Julio Lopez. I've got my master's degree in nutrition, as well as being a certified strength and conditioning specialist and a certified personal trainer with over 8 years of experience in personal training. Whether you're working in an office or you're a student, there's a good chance that you have to spend hours reading and analyzing a bunch of really mundane stuff. If it's causing you to nod off, it could easily crush your productivity. And for those of you that are office professionals, it could even get you fired. In my opinion, the standing desk is highly underrated, and I truly believe that it should be the standard for schools and offices across the country. In fact, some of the benefits to using a standing desk that's actually backed by research include possible improvements to cognitive function, increased energy and focus, and potential reductions in back pain. The first thing, improved cognitive function. The fatigue that you get while you're working at a desk versus where you're working outdoors doing hard labor is completely different. While I was in the Navy, I actually had the unique opportunity to experience both types of fatigue, most specifically during our field training exercises. And I may or may not have been found out to be someone that talks in his sleep. When you're an office professional, managers and supervisors need to make sure that employees are being productive. And if it's lacking because you're clearly fatigued, then you really have to make a change to that. Otherwise, you do risk the possibility of being laid off or reprimanded. At every level in most offices, professionals need to be quick with their work output, as well as being able to handle unforeseen situations that may pop up. A 2018 study in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health suggests that standing desks can enhance executive functions, such as planning, decision-making, and problem-solving. These cognitive abilities are essential for productivity and enhancing work performance. As a personal trainer and nutritionist, I get asked questions all the time on the gym floor. Granted that I do have years of experience in personal training as well as an advanced degree in nutrition, I know most of the answers off the top of my head, but sometimes it requires me to conduct a little bit of research. In those situations, I may have to perform a quick PubMed search, look through a couple studies and meta-analyses, and then be able to break them down and translate them to be understood by the lay person. If my brain is being sluggish and I'm half asleep while I'm doing it, my answer is going to be lacking in quality, and I might even interpret the studies and meta-analyses incorrectly. Applied Ergonomics published a study in 2013 that using a standing desk could improve working memory. That's the ability to hold and manipulate information in the mind over short periods. If you can improve your working memory, this can help you as an office professional to better focus, process information, and make decisions. Managing the work between being a grad student and a full-time personal trainer was more mentally draining than I initially thought it would be. With my personal training clients, I have to have their workouts made ahead of time. And before I do this, I need to analyze the data from their previous workouts and compare it to what their performance has been. and then make the judgment call of how intense I would be making their upcoming workouts. And with grad school, obviously I would have to analyze and assess various studies and reading material to be able to put the supporting arguments to back my thesis. While coffee is great and I absolutely love it, I give a lot of the credit to fighting my fatigue to using a standing desk. Is mental fatigue affecting your productivity at work? A 2019 study found that using a standing desk may reduce mental fatigue and improve alertness. If you, as an office professional, are able to reduce your mental fatigue, this makes you better equipped to handle challenging tasks and maintain productivity throughout the day. Should this also improve your quality of work, this can be noticed by your supervisors and managers, and you'd be able to use that when negotiating your next pay raise, or if you're looking for a promotion. Second thing, increased energy and focus. How often do you get to your office on Monday and feel totally exhausted? Remember, the whole theory behind a weekend is for you to be able to rest and recharge and feel totally energetic for the incoming week. But if that's not happening, something is off. If it's because you slept too late or you tried doing too much over the weekend, then you really need to make some adjustments for the upcoming weekend, so that way you're not so fatigued on Monday. Other times, there's really no explanation. Maybe you didn't do that much and you got your full 8 hours of sleep, but you're still feeling fatigued. Regardless, sitting in a desk while you're battling fatigue can be absolutely brutal. It's simple. If you increase your energy, this is probably going to translate into improved focus and productivity. A study in 2017 found that using a standing desk can reduce feelings of fatigue and increase energy levels throughout the workday. As a former legal assistant, I know that things can get a little bit testy when you're working in an office. Having a bad mood can hurt your relationships with coworkers, and if you're providing customer service to clients or other personnel, this can affect your quality of customer service. The Journal of Occupational Health published a study in 2016 that said using a standing desk may improve mood as well as reducing anxiety and depression. A positive mood can increase motivation and engagement, leading to improved work performance. Were you aware that increases in blood flow and oxygenation from using a standing desk can help work productivity? A 2014 study published in the Journal of Occupational and Environmental Medicine indicates that using a standing desk may increase blood flow and oxygenation throughout the body, namely in the brain. This can improve mental clarity and focus, ultimately leading to better productivity. The third thing, decreased back pain. A couple years ago, I injured my lower back pretty seriously at work as a personal trainer. This is entirely because I was using absolutely poor lifting mechanics, where I really should have been more serious about making sure that my core was tight, my back was straight, that I wasn't reaching over while carrying a heavy weight. But of course I didn't pay attention to the obviousness, and I paid for it. And let me tell you, this was not fun at all. I had to roll out of bed. Tying my shoes or putting on my socks was so difficult, especially when you consider that I'm 6'5", so it's kind of a long reach to my feet. And then I also realized that pretty much everything important was on the bottom drawer. So I made a mental note saying that when my back gets better, I'm going to move everything out of the bottom drawer to get it up higher. So that way, if I do injure my back again, it's not going to be nearly as bad as it was this first time. The good thing about the back injury that I suffered was that it made me a lot more intelligent about my workout designs, especially for clients that have back injuries. It also prompted me into investing thousands of hours to find which exercises are best in reducing and relieving back pain. And this explains why you see so many of my posts related to hip thrusts. Something else that I found really helpful for dealing with back pain was using the standing desk. Oftentimes when I'm working on the computer, I notice myself slouching from time to time, so I have to remind myself to stop. The International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health published a study where researchers found that using a standing desk can improve posture. Much of this had to do with the reduced amount of time spent in a slouched position. This improved posture can reduce the strain on the back and alleviate back pain. Much of the time, Back pain is caused by an amount of compression coming down on the spinal discs. A 2016 study suggests that using a standing desk can reduce spinal compression, namely in the lower back. Therefore, by reducing spinal compression, using a standing desk can alleviate pressure in the intervertebral discs, possibly reducing your back pain. It should be a no-brainer that your muscles are more active when you're using a standing desk versus sitting down. In 2018, the Journal of Physical Therapy Science published a study that found that using a standing desk can increase muscle activation in the legs, the back, and the neck, particularly in the erector spinae that line your spine. This increased muscle activation may help to alleviate back pain, possibly reducing the risk of possible future back injuries. In conclusion, being highly productive as you're an office professional trying to battle fatigue can be really challenging, especially when you're forced to stay seated for hours each day. In my opinion, every company needs to take a serious look into investing in standing desks for employees. Since most standing desks can either be standing or being dropped down for a sitting position, this gives the employees more freedom to decide which they would prefer. If they choose standing, they'll be able to stay more alert and more focused, therefore reducing the amount of coffee that they're drinking all day. Less coffee, less bathroom breaks, meaning more savings for the company. Not only that, but it can also decrease back pain, which can also be more savings from less health insurance costs. So that does it for today's Workout Nerd Out. If you got any questions, feel free to leave one in the comment section, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, I'll see you on the next Workout Nerd Out.